What's happening, guys? Welcome back to B&C Outdoors. We are actually indoors today. As you can tell, I'm inside my garage, and you can see there's a big water tank and a shallow well pump and all that here behind me, and that's because I have a backup water system set up in kind of an interesting way, and I just kind of want to show you what I have and how I did it and how it works, so that maybe somebody out there can make use of this information and maybe they can make their own or utilize it in some similar way. So let me show you what I got. So here I have a Drummond shallow well pump from Harbor Freight, 179 bucks. It's a 1 horsepower motor. It has a pressure switch built onto it, and it also has a pressure tank. And this allows you to control the pressure of the water, and this allows you to actually build pressure and hold pressure for a constant flow if you need it. Down here, this is an IBC water tank. So this one is 330 gallon, and you can also buy them at 275 gallon. These are mostly used to ship chemicals and foods and things like that in bulk. You can buy these brand new. This 330 gallon one will cost you about 600 bucks ish, and a 275 gallon will cost you 350, 400. So they are very expensive if you buy a new one. I bought this one off of Facebook Marketplace. It was used in shipping hand sanitizer back during the pandemic. So knowing that, I didn't have a problem putting water in this to pump into my house, because hand sanitizer, that's fine. But you do have to be careful, because some of these tanks, they can use them to ship some very bad chemicals that you would not want to be mixed with your water and pushed into your house. But if you can find one that has that's shipped food or anything like that that you can clean out, or hand sanitizer, for instance, then that's perfectly fine. You just got to be wary of that if you buy a used one. The used ones you can get for like 50 to 100 bucks. So much cheaper than you could buy a new one. So I would definitely recommend looking at that. Check Facebook Marketplace first. That's where I found mine. And I found a bunch of them. Got multiple hits. So check there first. Now let me show you how I have this pump set up to the tank. Okay, so here on the motor, you have an outlet. This pushes the water out, and you have an inlet. This suctions the water in from the tank in there and then pushes it out. Builds up pressure here and then pushes it out this way. So what I bought, of course you can connect this in any way you want, but I set this one right on top of the tank so it suctions right out of there, and you got to make sure this is full of water so that it's primed. But these are 1 inch threaded on there. So this coupling has 1 inch male threads here to PVC gluable. Has a piece of PVC, 1 inch PVC pipe, and then 1 inch PVC gluable here to male 1 inch threads here. This is a 1 inch union. This allows me to unscrew this. It has an O-ring inside that seals it. This allows me to unscrew it and remove the tank and remove that pipe if I want to at any given point in time. That's what I want. So absolutely not necessary if you know that you're never going to move your pump. So not a necessary piece, but just more convenient if you do. This is a male threaded into this piece, gluable PVC, piece of PVC, 1 inch PVC pipe to a 90-degree elbow, 1 inch PVC pipe here, and this is a check switch. All this is a one-way flow, so the water can flow this way, but it cannot flow back that way into the tank. And what that's good for, I didn't realize it when I first used this, is it allows this to suction up and build pressure and hold pressure here. If this was not here, it would build pressure and then run back into the tank, and then the pressure would drop, and then it would kick on again. So it would be a constant cycling of on, off, on, off, on, off. Whereas this, when you turn it on now, it suctions in through the pipe, builds up pressure here, and if the water's not on, it just stays there. It sits there. It can't flow backwards, and it just sits there and holds the 40 pounds of pressure that I have this check switch, or not check switch, sorry, this pressure switch set to. You can adjust that inside here. And then of course, I have a 1-inch PVC pipe glued into here, and it is put all the way to the bottom of the tank and has about 1/4 of an inch of flex off of the bottom of the tank, which gives you just enough room to suction without suctioning to the bottom of the tank. But this is the interesting part. I have not found anything that says that you can do it this way, so I'm not a plumber, for one. Only try this at your own discretion. But this is the interesting part, and I will say that it works. I don't know anyone that's ever tried it, but I know it works because I used it last year for 6 days and it worked perfectly fine. So let me show you the interesting part. So as you can see, I have a water hose. This is a 1-inch male thread in here, and it has, I think, 3/4 inch female threads inside this piece of plastic PVC. And then this is a brass 3/4 inch to 5/8 or whatever a water hose thread is. I'm not even sure. But it's hooked to a water hose, right? This water hose runs down, and I hook it up, you ain't gonna believe this, to the water hose outlet inside the garage. Yes, the water hose outlet for my garage water hose. So basically what I'm doing is I have a pump to this tank, and I am backflowing it through the water hose outlet. So I go out to my main city water shutoff in the ground out front, my meter, and I shut that off. Because if you turn this on and you flow it into your house and leave that open, then it's gonna flow back out into the city water system. So I shut that off first thing. And then I hook this thing to the water hose and I open it. I turn it on, it builds pressure, and literally when I go inside my house and turn a faucet on, it backflows the water through the darn water hose outlet. And if you're a plumber and you can comment on this and tell me if this is a bad idea in any way. Like I said, I used this for 6 days. We took showers, we used the washing machine, we had hot water, we used the sinks, dishwasher. We used everything in our house for 6 days. So if there's a plumber that knows any reason that this could be a bad idea, let me know. Comment it below. Please comment it below. Like I said, I used it for 6 days and I know it works. It goes through the hot water heater. So we have hot water. We took showers. Over 6 days, we took, we'll say, 10 showers between all of us for work and all that kind of stuff. We washed a load of clothes. We washed a couple of loads of dishes. We washed some by hand. Everything in the house worked. And it worked fantastic. So if that's something, our city water system here, it goes kaplooey in the wintertime. Lines freeze and they bust every single winter, and that's why I came up with something like this. So if you need a backup system, this one works. It's in my garage, so the tank can never freeze. So you got to think about that too. If you put a tank outside, you got to worry about it freezing. So that's you kind of got to think about that. If you live somewhere that it gets cold enough for it to freeze in the wintertime, maybe you don't. But you can backflow it through your water hose. That simple. So I can unhook it and hook it back up anytime I want. It sits right next to it, right here, and just plug it up. Shut off the city main, and voila, I have water again. Conserve, shower a little quicker than normal, do less laundry than normal, use the sinks less than normal. We only used a half of this tank in 6 days last year, and it worked fabulously. And if I use it, when the city water comes back on, I hook my water hose to my outlet, stick it in the top of there, and I fill the tank back up with chlorinated city water. And it's been sitting in this tank, and as you can see, it is still crystal clear because the garage gets no sunlight, so it can't grow algae. And it's chlorinated. I refilled it after we used it last year. We used it down to like half. And it's been sitting there for pretty much a year. So it stays good, and you can always add a little more chlorine to it if you want to, just to be on the safe side. That's up to you. I've got a swimming pool, so I've got chlorine sitting around. If I wanted to add a little to it, I could, but I haven't had to. Anyway, I hope this system helps somebody out there, because it sure helped me. And it is super, super handy. So I hope it helps somebody. If you like this video, hit that like button for me. And if you like this kind of content, this is just something really cool. We do a lot of outdoor stuff, hunting, fishing, shooting, reloading, gun stuff, just outdoor stuff. We do that right here on B&C Outdoors. Hit that subscribe button, follow us along. And as always, guys, thank you for watching.